Now today I have with me my dear darling friend Shazneen Acharia here. She's hiding her face because today we bring you 8 biggest makeup mistakes. Ta-da! You know, I've not kept it very theatrical. It's not very bad. It's not very bad.
Terrible.
We see this a lot in real life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to break these mistakes down one at a time. You guys keep watching and pay attention because this shit is important. The first makeup product that we usually go for is foundation or concealer. And the biggest mistake, especially in this country, I think going lighter is a very common mistake. So on that side, I've used one shade lighter by the same Maybelline's Dream Velvet foundation. I love this range. It's not released in India yet, but I've used it at New York Fashion Week. And this is Dream Velvet in the number 60, Sandy Beige. I'm going to go in with a beauty blender, take a little bit of this product, and just apply and blend. So with that beauty blender, I'm just going to blend this foundation. You dab and you roll. You dab and you roll. You dab and you roll. Okay. Now we've pretty much covered most of Shazneen's skin, if there were any imperfections as such. But I am going to use this concealer by NARS in the shade medium or custard. And I'm going to put this right there, just a little bit to cover any redness. And blend again. So you see what I'm doing is I'm keeping the skin tone the same. You could also, I recommend going one shade warmer, which is one shade darker than your own skin tone. That hides imperfections even better. And then on the middle of the face, which is basically this part, you keep it your own exact skin tone or one shade lighter maybe. Okay, so that's blended. Let's see. Okay. It's contouring.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that at all.
The problem is that everybody uses a tone too dark or a tone too warm, too orangey, too red. So what I recommend is, it's NARS and it's called Laguna, right? So I'm not going in with Casino, which would be too dark. Now Casino would be for somebody that's my tone, darker than me, a little lighter than me perhaps, yes. If blended well, it could work. But Laguna is a tone that would be perfect in Shazneen. I'm going to take this with my angular brush and pick the product. I'll show you what I'm doing. Mistake is also people start from here and then they go all across the cheek till the nose. I don't recommend that at all. I like to put my contours from the ears, so you don't see just a line here, all the way. If she smiles, right there till the mid cheek, and you can softly blend around the apple of the cheek as well, and then blend into the perimeter of the face. The perimeter is the hairline and the jawline right there. Now the nose is another area that's over contoured a lot. So I'm going to take that very lightly, dust off the excess, and instead of shading the entire side of the nose, which is what most people do, you want to create just a thin line right there on the side of the bridge of the nose. That's enough of shadow. So you see my contour is soft, it's only on the side of the bridge of the nose, not all over the place. You can see all air hostesses in India have their blusher in the wrong place. It's usually right there on the top. You can see where the product has touched. The brush has touched the skin right there. It's unblended, it's too red, and it's used with a big fluffy brush like that.
Yeah.
This is ideally for powder, but for blusher, you want to make sure it's not too big.
Oh.
So I'm going to pick a blush by Bobbi Brown called Tawny. I'm holding the brush very far away, so it's a very light pickup of product. Dust off the excess. Ask her to smile. And right on the apples of the cheeks, like so. And then whatever's left on the brush is what you blend up. And that's it. Eyeshadow. A smoky eye is supposed to look like you had sex the previous night and you wake up with your eyes smudged up a little bit. Now that was the origins of a smoky eye. But I'm going to show you how to get a soft, beautiful smoky eye as opposed to something that looks like you've been punched.
Yeah.
Let's just take a color like this one. This is the Urban Decay palette called Shadow Box. And this color called Lost is like a bronzy brown. And I'm going to just run it across the lid. I'm going to keep it a soft, smoky eye that doesn't scare people. And I've stayed clear of the brow bone. Okay? That's beautiful as it is. With a slightly smaller flat brush, I'm going to pick the black, and very close to the lash line is where I'm going to throw that. So you see I've deposited the product at the end of the eyes here on the outer corners, and then working whatever there is on the brush and on the lid towards the inside. It's softer, there's a bit of a romance to it. So that's a basic eyeshadow with a liner. We have a lot of floating liners.
Floating liners, yeah.
It's called a floating liner because as you can see, there's skin in between the liner and the lash. Now that's a floating liner. It's not doing anything for the eye. The point of eyeliner is to make the eyes look wider or to add a definition. Now with the blue, I'm just making a little bit of a statement, using something that's not very cliched and classic, playing it up a bit. So I'm going to create a liner that doesn't have any gaps. Now to get the right wing, if you look at this liner, what I've done is I've gone all the way down to the last lash. That is the last hair that's grown on her eye, and I've gone right down there. The best way to get an elevated eye, an eye that's not droopy, that's not looking sad, is to stop before your last lash. You can see her last lash is somewhere here, but I've not gone all the way down. Before I reach there, I'm going to lift it up like so. As opposed to filling it all the way here, I've just taken the line up there. Okay. You can see from Shazneen's left eye that there's no definition to the lashes. So I'm going to ask her to look down, curl her lashes first. Okay. Now I'm using Maybelline's Colossal Chaotic Lash. Just going to apply this. Look down here. So what mascara does essentially is finds the lash, and it really does make the eyes speak. So that's a nice application of mascara. It's simple, it's brightening the eye, adding a little sparkle. Brows are a big concern. Now brows are something that I obsess over a lot.
Yeah.
The mistake that all of us make is to go too hard on the brow. So you use a tone that's too dark, and it starts from the beginning, solid, all the way to the end, still solid. Don't want that. If your color is somewhat close to Shazneen's, and you're light skinned, this brow pencil by MAC is called Deep Dark Brunette. I'll show you on her skin. It's that light. You see? I'm holding the pen very far out. Pencil, whatever. Just softly. Drawing small little lines. Now you could also do this with an eyeshadow, and then with a spoolie brush or a toothbrush, you can just brush that out. And you see I've not put product at the end, right? I've put more on the middle, and then whatever's used, I'm going to brush that and use that product itself. Soft and nice, okay? And the final mistake that I'm going to bring to your notice today, the 8th mistake,
number
is
8.
lip liner when it's overdrawn. I don't have a problem with lips being overdrawn at all. But if you have thin lips, then you have thin lips. You know what I mean? If you have bad lips, you have bad lips. Big deal.
Yeah.
However, if you're going to draw a line, just not to draw something that's too way out there. I'm going to show you in a red so you can really see. Start on the outside. This pencil is by Bourjois, and it's called Rouge Seduction. Number 14, Rouge Seduction. So you can fill it in with your liner. Now I'm going over it with a shade of Anastasia's long-wearing lip color, liquid lipsticks. It's called American Doll. Yeah, like that.
Perfect.
And that's a sweet, beautiful face. Now I'm going to finish that side of the face and bring Shazneen back to life. Well, and see you guys in a quick second. And I love squeezy bottles because it means you don't waste too much product. Casino Fave. It's the bronzer by NARS. I'm gonna just put that